What's up everybody, my name is Polk and I've been making BMX racing YouTube videos for over 5 years now, and one of the things that I'm most widely known for is my first person point of view footage. Now over the years I've had two different GoPros, but for the past 3.5 years I've used the GoPro HERO8 Black. Now this thing has been awesome to me, but having it so long my battery started to swell up and the battery life diminished, so it put me in a position where I needed to either buy new batteries or buy a new camera. So I started looking at the newest GoPro, which is the HERO12. And honestly, I just didn't think it looked that much better than my current GoPro, the HERO8. So I decided to look at something different, and with Insta360 blowing up, I decided I would get the Insta360 GO 3. So the reason I did this is because the preferred position of the camera is under our helmet visors, but the GoPro is just a little bit too big and it blocks my vision a little bit too much for comfort, so I have to run it on top of my visor, but that keeps it exposed and makes my helmet feel even bigger with having something on top. So I went with something a little bit smaller, and you may be wondering, how is this one smaller than this one? Well, the GO 3 actually has a detachable camera, and it is super tiny, super convenient, and it allows me to put it under my visor. But obviously, I'm not going to sacrifice quality and performance just for a smaller camera, so I picked up some new batteries for the GoPro, and we're going to compare these two by putting the GoPro on top of the visor where I normally have it, and then putting the Insta360 below my visor and filming at the exact same time of the same thing and seeing how they match up. Alright, so we're here at Indy Cycloplex BMX for a practice session. So we're going to be comparing the Insta360 GO 3 and the GoPro HERO8 Black. One of my biggest concerns with the Insta360 is the audio and the wind noise, so today we'll be able to compare the two cameras completely.
Okay, riders, ramp start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Alright, so first up is battery life. So I practiced for around 2 hours and both cameras had almost exactly 30 minutes of footage, and at the very end the GO 3 had 16% battery life left and the GoPro had 65% left. So obviously the GoPro wins, but there's a difference between these two, and this is actually something that I was a little hesitant about when purchasing the GO 3, and it's the fact that there are no removable batteries. So the GoPro has removable batteries and you can have as many of these as you want, so when one dies you can just throw another one in, and that's actually a really nice feature. However, the GO 3 doesn't have that feature. The GO 3 only has one internal battery, so that's all you get. However, one nice feature is this housing case. So not only is this a display and can be used as a remote controller, this is also how you charge the camera. So the camera can be placed inside and it starts charging. So the reason I point this out is because you can have a fully charged camera and a fully charged case, and when this dies you can simply put it back in and it'll start charging. So on race day, if it starts to die, you can always just take it off, put it in the case, and it'll charge between motos. So that, coupled with the fact that it survived a pretty large 2-hour session with some extra battery life, I don't think battery life is going to be a problem. Next, I want to talk about audio. So as I had mentioned, one of my biggest concerns with the GO 3 is the audio, and it seems like the biggest criticism of the GO series cameras has been the wind noise and just horrible audio. And I never got to use the GO 1 or the GO 2, but from watching footage and listening to it, it was horrible. Like, it was just straight wind and you couldn't hear anything. But it seems like they really stepped it up with the GO 3 and made a ton of improvements, because it wasn't bad at all, and I actually thought it was really comparable to the HERO8, so I was really pleasantly surprised with that and very happy with it. Finally, let's talk about quality. So one of my favorite things about the GoPros are how wide angle they are. It makes it look very similar to what your eyes see and makes it feel the most realistic. So at first I was extremely disappointed with the Go 3 because it was not wide at all and it was way too zoomed in. And honestly, at that point, I was ready to never use this camera again and just go back to my GoPro. However, I did some digging with the Go 3 and I found a mode called free frame mode. Now what that mode does is it captures the raw footage and you can edit it in the Insta360 app afterwards. So to keep it simple and not go too in depth, the raw footage from the Go 3 is a square, but it's a fisheye, so there are black edges and it's actually a circle. And when you put it in video mode, all it does is it crops to whatever aspect ratio you put it in and you're losing a ton of that width. So when I saw the raw footage, I knew there had to be a way that you could manipulate the footage and maintain that width. So I was able to find some settings in the Insta360 app and then also do some post editing and make it look really, really good. And honestly, I am very, very happy with it. So after discovering this, the Go 3 is amazing for me because I do a lot of editing anyways. So getting the look that I want and being super small and compact is just all around perfect. So honestly, I wouldn't really recommend this camera to someone who doesn't want to do a lot of editing afterwards if you want that super wide look, but for someone like me who's already going to edit, it works fine. Additionally, the Go 3 has a ton of cool features that the GoPro doesn't have. A few of those I have covered already, but another one is the camera's magnetic and it has some really cool mounts, so it opens me up to many new possibilities for footage. But that's it for this video. I think it was super cool comparing these two and seeing how they stacked up against each other. I think for now, I'm gonna go with the Go 3, but I still have both options that I can use anytime I want. But I hope you found this video helpful, and if you enjoyed, make sure to like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next video.